Welcome to the Main Allure podcast. I am your host, Laura, your unofficial mentor and motivator. Has there ever been a time in which you've told yourself, this is what I want, this is what I really want, but then your brain screams back at you and tells you, but you know what? What if it all goes wrong? What if everything goes wrong? This episode is for the people standing on the edge of a decision, the dreamers stuck in those what ifs, those high achievers playing it safe. And today we're going to talk about what it means to take a leap of faith, when to take them, what happens when you don't, and why science says that sometimes the leap is exactly what you need. Contrary to popular belief, a leap of faith isn't about being reckless. It's actually the opposite. It is about listening to something deeper than logic. It is a vision, a calling, or a knowing. And with all of that, trusting that you'll figure it out on your way there. And sometimes it may look like quitting a job because it's super toxic, leaving a relationship that no longer aligns with who you are, moving to a new city, starting a business or a new passion project, or saying yes to something, even if there are absolutely no guarantees. And that is the beauty of it. And as you know, you probably know, I'm one of those people that I love taking leaps of faith because you just never know. It's like opening a brand new gift. And yes, it could be absolutely scary. Sometimes it's messy, but sometimes it is absolutely necessary because when you take leaps of faith, you start to understand who you really are. You're listening to your heart, you're being your genuine self, and understanding what truly makes you tick. What are the things that truly make you feel alive? Now, let's be honest for a second. Staying where you are often feels safer than the unknown. And of course, we all love to feel safe, right? But this is what research shows. In a study done by Cornell University, it was found that at the end of life, people tend to regret inaction more than failure by a wide margin. And so some people will say, well, I wish I'd tried, usually hurts more than I wish it had worked out. Why? Because you will find that, let's say you wanted to make a decision 20 years ago, but you never did because you were afraid. Maybe you were comfortable where you were safe. But now you're trying to make sense of that action that you didn't take. I talked about this in my last episode when I told you about that time that I thought I wanted to be the next Meryl Streep, right? And I took the class, found out that I absolutely suck at acting. But imagine if I wouldn't have taken that class. Imagine if I would have went 20, 30, 40, 50 years of my life wondering if I was actually the next Meryl Streep. I would have been kicking myself. When the reality is now, I could let that dream go. It was nice while it lasted, but the truth is that now I can pursue something else, and I did. So that is the whole idea with regret. I would have lasted 20, 30 years thinking about what if, and it probably would have hurt me more to feel that sense of regret than to actually feel like I failed, which in reality I didn't fail, right? I pursued it, figured it out, didn't work out, and then I said, that's okay. I'd rather just do something else, and I'm happy instead of going back and thinking about all of those things that I could have done. So think about something in your life that perhaps you feel like you need to just figure it out now before you wait 20, 30 years to find out whether it's really what you wanted. Because that sense of regret will stay with you and it will probably hurt you more in the long run. There was also a study done by a Harvard psychologist called Daniel Gilbert, and he found that humans tend to overestimate the cost of failure and underestimate their ability to adapt. I thought that was interesting because we do tend to underestimate just how powerful and how capable we are. We tend to think that all of these external factors have more power than we do. And a lot of times that's truly not the case. The fear that you feel now, you'll survive it and you actually grow from it. You will become much stronger as a result because when you think about it, staying stuck can lead to so many things like chronic stress, right? Because you're so stuck on thinking about that misalignment. You're also going to experience mental fatigue from suppressing that need and those true desires that you've always had, but you just never pursued. Then you start trusting yourself less and less because you're not following your genuine needs. You're not truly pursuing what you want. At the end of the day, you start building that resentment in others who actually had the guts to follow their dreams. And you're wondering why that is, if you're somebody who's successful, who is achieving so many things, and you just don't understand why people treat you with a little bit of disdain. And you're like, well, what have I done to you? What is this coming from? But a lot of times you'll find that sometimes people just feel, and I don't want to say sad, but it is kind of sad, right? Like you see what you could have been, what you could have become, and then you end up resenting it as a result. But what I want to tell you is that you still have time to pursue what you want. And sometimes the comfort zone is really just this beautifully decorated prison, okay? It looks great. It feels great to be in that one spot all the time and not be challenged. But I want you to challenge yourself. I want you to go out there and see what is possible. And I want you to surprise yourself because there's so much out there that you can achieve, that you could follow, that you could dream about. But how are you going to know if you don't take that leap of faith? So this is your calling, all right? Go ahead and do it. And I would love for you to please just don't stay stuck. Follow something, believe in something, and pursue it with all of your might because you deserve it. All right, so what does happen when you take a leap of faith? Researchers like Richard Tadashi, I believe I'm saying his name right, but he has found that the people who go through life disruptions like big moves, career shifts, all those big life experiences, they often experience higher levels of personal development, confidence, and satisfaction. And those new experiences create, I guess you could say, neural pathways, right? Where your brain is almost shifting into this growth mindset because you're now a little bit more flexible mentally. Your brain is preparing itself for changes, and you adjust to these changes a lot easier because you are building this problem-solving and creative way to think about everything that you see, about everything that you experience. There's also psychologist Albert Bandura who showed that the belief in your ability to succeed increases after each risk you survive. You could take one leap today and you start to feel stronger, right? Your confidence grows over time. You start to trust yourself more. And the more that you trust yourself, it's going to lead to making super powerful decisions. You're not going to doubt yourself just because, well, guess what? You're just now used to making decisions all the time, right? From all those little leaps. Leap like a frog, right? But it's going to become something that you enjoy. Even if something doesn't work out, and of course, we all hope that it does, right? But even when it doesn't, you're going to say, well, that's one time out of many. It's okay. And most people will say, you know what? It didn't work out, but I did learn something from it. And most people would say they'll do it again because the person that they are becoming was extremely worth it. And I could tell you from experience, all of the leaps I've taken in my life, right? By the way, I've moved about 20 times in my life. So that should tell you, that should tell you a lot. But from all of those leaps that I've taken in my life, I am absolutely happy and confident in anything that I do because I know that no matter what happens, you're always going to land on your 2 feet. And no matter what, things will turn out all right. Now, I'm going to give you some tips or maybe a few guidelines on how you know when it's time to take that leap, okay? So first thing is you keep having the same internal conversation and it's just not going away. If something is just nagging at you time and time again, like, oh my God, I need to take that class, or I need to take that trip, or I need to try this new adventure, or whatever. If it's always nagging at you, then that's a sign that you need to take a leap of faith. Or you feel more afraid of staying where you are than you are of what's actually coming next. So if you're stuck in a situation and that situation is giving you anxiety, it's making you feel worse and worse every time, then that's probably a sign that you need to take a leap of faith. It's time to explore what that means and what that next thing you should be looking at really is, right? What is it supposed to be? You weigh the risk, but you still feel pulled into one direction. You're waiting for the right time, but deep down, you know that it's a myth. There's never going to be the right time. The longer and longer you wait, the more you're going to probably torture yourself. So if you know that right time is not going to come, maybe the time is now. Another way to figure out whether you need to take a leap of faith is if your body just feels it, right? Like you're feeling that tight chest, your energy is drained, your gut tension is your current reality. Those are ways for you to recognize that the only choice you have, okay, and I'm going to put it as your only choice, is to take that leap of faith, especially if it feels scary and right at the same time. So that might be the time. I always say the time is now. Don't waste it. Okay, so here's what I want you to leave with today. Every big thing you've ever admired started with someone saying, I don't know how, but I know I can stay here. You don't need a perfect plan. What you need is the courage and the willingness to take that first step. So if you're standing on the edge of something right now, that this is your sign for you to trust yourself, to take that leap of faith, even if it's wobbly, even if it's uncertain, take that bet on yourself and bet on that version of you that's trying to break through, that's trying to make a change. Because sometimes staying stuck isn't really playing it safe, it's really playing it small. So you're not small. We're not small. You know, I may be 5'2", but in my head, I'm a big giant, right? So that's how you have to look at it. You are powerful. You are empowered. You have the ability and the capability to make changes that you really want to make. Your challenge this week is this. Do one thing that absolutely aligns with the version of you who wants to take that leap, even if it's a tiny step. So I would love to hear from you. Please let me know. Leave me comments, whatever you want. Tell me what that is. Tell me how you're planning to take that leap of faith. I'm going to be here rooting for you, whether you know me or not. Trust me, I am sending you great vibes because I want you to truly believe in yourself. Okay, and this is coming from someone who, as a little girl, was absolutely shy and scared to do things. And right now, you know what? I will take a leap of faith whenever I want, however I want. Absolutely yes. Okay, that's always the answer for me. Am I thinking about it? Am I questioning something? Should I be doing what I'm thinking about right now? Yes, that is always my answer. And I want you to go through life with the confidence to know that you can do that too. So until next time, trust that leap of faith, leap like a frog, and you will land in a safe place. I promise you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, share this with a friend, someone who would benefit from hearing this message. So until next time, take care. Bye.